Refuel, rest, and take refreshments with the Services Podcast, your service station companion. This week, the team are at Tibshelf.
Welcome, hello to episode 4 of the Services Podcast. We are in location number 4. It is a... Should we tell them what it is, or should we maybe describe it first?
It's a service station.
Yes.
A service area.
Service area. It's station seems a bit grandiose a term for this place because it's very small. I'd call it like a service stop, like the difference between a bus stop and a bus station. It's Tibshelf, everyone.
The great thing is I've actually got a map just above me to the right. We're in the northbound carriageway. You can't get over to the southbound. There is no bridge. This is the first service station we come to without a bridge, which is already, as I'd say, a black mark against it.
Yeah, it massively.
It's a smudge on its reputation.
It's a backwards service station. It's like it's still using the feudal system.
There's a little map on a TV screen just above me, and it's the Highways Agency live traffic information board, and I can tell you right now that the picture is flipped over and I cannot see the map. And basically all it says is live traffic information from the Highways Agency now in big letters. I'm hoping that it will turn over so I can tell you exactly where we are.
Do you know how they name these service stations? Is this called Tibshelf because it's like near a little village called Tibshelf? Because I'm looking at this map, there's no village called Tibshelf. Or do they just come up with the name?
There is an arrow that says "You are here."
Well, that doesn't really answer my question in any way.
Okay, well, because I live locally,
yeah,
as you used to do, there is a place called Tibshelf. So I would say yes.
Right.
Mostly
Trowell? Same with Trowell?
Same with Trowell, same with Newport Pagnell.
I can't wait to go to Newport Pagnell.
The thing is, this is where we're at now. We've done 4, the closest ones.
We're going to actually have to start putting some hard yards in, aren't we?
The next one, the 5th one, we've got to... Well, either I come in your direction, or we just head down the M1. We could go to Donington Services, which is in between Leicester Forest East and Trowell, but it's not actually on the M1, it's just off the M1. It's a service area that isn't actually directly on... You have to go off, you have to turn off and go to it.
I think I've been to Donington,
So we can do Donington next before we have to think about the big journeys.
It's putting off the inevitable though, isn't it? Because it's a daunting prospect.
The Services Podcast with Watko and Tiny Rob.
I'm trying to think of a good analogy and I can't think of one because this podcast is so niche.
I've got it.
Go
Okay,
on.
it's like going to the local skiing centre where they have a slope and you go in there all the time. You're into skiing. And you
Am
go
I?
in there,
This man, right, okay.
This man
I was
is
going
really
to say, I
skiing.
can't ski, I've got a pigeon foot, I can't turn right.
He has got a pigeon foot.
That's absolutely true.
But that's another story. He's like Dudley Moore, but not dead.
All talented.
You go into the local ski slope that is there on your doorstep. You love the skiing, but you can't be bothered to go to the actual proper...
Well, to Austria?
To the Alps. You can't be bothered.
Right.
Because it's just far too much like hard work, but you're happy to go to the local ski slope.
But it's kind of, it's almost more than that in that it maybe throw in an impending closure of the local ski slope because we're running out, unless we do the same service stations again and pass them off as different ones and just pretend, we just go back to Trowell every week. You go, oh, we're now in Germany, we've gone international. We could do that and just get some like trumpet music for the back, some umpire music for the background.
We could do a little bit now if you want.
Should we pretend we're in Germany?
We could pretend we're in Germany. Well, here we are at Dusseldorf services.
I was thinking Gelsenkirchen, but it's obviously Dusseldorf.
Hang on with me, you're thinking. This is where we are.
I know.
Dusseldorf. Look around you. There's people all gathering for the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah.
And
is that Chedwood? No, it's not.
No, it's not. It just looks a little bit like him.
Okay, all right.
And you can hear the music that they're playing in the background, the umpire music, and there's some ladies.
Are we going to edit in the umpire music afterwards? We're going
Yes,
to
we
have
are.
to. Because I was going to say this sounds like Morrissey or something in the background.
This is the thing. Over in Dusseldorf, they play the exciting umpire music. You know, we can even. They're even bringing us Steins over to drink, even though we're on the motorway on the Autobahn.
They just don't care.
They just don't care. And here we are in simple old Tibshelf services.
Yeah. It's depressing now because I'm now in my head. I've been transported to Dusseldorf.
We didn't do it properly though. We didn't do it properly because we were too busy stepping in and out of the analogy.
Do you want to go back in? Because I was about to bring in a lovely buxom German girl in a lederhosen.
And she comes over. She gives it the Venus. She leans over this table.
Yeah.
Hello, sir, Mr. Howard.
Is that accent allowed? Are we allowed to go?
She leans over. And
it's sexy, okay.
And she leans over.
I'm not saying I find this sexy in any way.
She leans over and she places down the... Hang on. Here's your Wiener Schnitzel, Mr. Howard.
And I was saying...
She's very heavy-handed.
Yeah. And sadly, my eyes are not on the Wiener Schnitzel. My eyes are drawn into the crevasse.
Into the Austrian Alps.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she's actually Austrian. But she works near Dusseldorf.
That's good to know, that's good to know. So there we are, there's my Wiener Schnitzel.
The Services Podcast with Ian Watkins and Rob Howard. From Watford Gap to Toddington, Strensham to Woodall. The only service station podcast you need.
Next up on the list
Hit me.
is Touch Me in the Services.
Have you brought some stories?
I've got a couple of things actually today. Something that I spotted in the paper this morning. This is about UK people apparently mad on lucky rituals. So do you have any sort of superstitious things that you do in order to stay safe and stay lucky? Be lucky. Be lucky. Stay lucky. Stay lucky.
I will.
I'm going to use that as my catchphrase from now on. When I'm saying goodbye to somebody, normally I say, be good, stay lucky.
Stay lucky. What if they've been unlucky? What if they've just come to you and gone, Ian, my wife's left me, she's taken the kids, she's changed the locks, I can't get in. And then you go, stay lucky. You think you're having a go at him. You think you're making fun of him.
Obviously, I would choose the right time to reveal the stay lucky catchphrase.
Would you say to someone, stay unlucky? If it were appropriate?
Of course I wouldn't.
No, that'd just be rude.
I'd gauge the situation and then use the stay lucky catchphrase at the right opportune moment.
Okay, well, we'll remember that and you can sign off with it. And it'll be the start of something magical and beautiful. Right, do I have any superstitions? No, I'm afraid I'm going to have to be pretty boring here. I don't have any superstitions.
Okay, well, we'll just end this feature here then, shall we?
I'm trying to think, I'm racking my brains, I don't think I have any. I must have something.
You've got to have something, man. Come on.
I'm trying to think, back to when I used to play sport. Did I do anything?
Let me see. Yeah, did you ever tie your shoelaces up the wrong way so that you were lucky in your sporting career?
No, I didn't.
There's a ladder in front of you. Do you go under that ladder or do you go around the ladder? What would you do?
I don't do any of that.
Do you just go under the ladder?
I just do what I want. I'm a rebel without a cause.
Stay lucky. Anyways.
Do you have any superstitions?
I've got quite a few. I'm quite... Not...
You strike me as a sort of kind of kooky character.
Put it this way.
There's Ian. He's got
lots of issues.
He's got issues. He's got lots of superstitions.
He's so superstitious he can hardly live his life. He's obsessive compulsive disorder man. 2 in 3 adults are so superstitious they refuse to walk under ladders. Always throw spilt salt over their shoulders.
What?
And even good morning to magpies. And even say good morning to magpies.
Oh, my mum does that.
What does your mum say?
She says, hello, Mr. Magpie, how are you today?
That's if there's one, yeah?
Well, if there's one. Oh no, hang on, no. Sometimes she spits over her shoulder as well.
Spits?
Yeah, she did. It's horrible. Honestly, when I was a kid and I was in the back seat of the car and she was driving me to school, it was like a shower.
My dad does a thing, I've inherited it now. Every time you see a hay wagon driving down the road with the hay on the top of it, you know the wagons with hay? The hay wagons?
Yeah, I know the hay wagons.
Spit 3 times for good luck.
Oh.
You don't properly spit, you just go...
Yeah, no, you know.
You know, like a hilly-billy type character, and it's for good luck, so I do that. Looking at me gone out.
Me?
Yeah, like, what an idiot.
Yeah, a little bit. The one that got me was the salt over the shoulder. What's that all about? I've never heard of that.
I'll tell you more about that in a second. I also do the hello Mr. Magpie thing.
Do you?
But I say, hello Mr. Magpie, how's your wife?
Right.
Because normally they knock around in twos, and obviously 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy.
What if it's a woman? What if it's a woman magpie and you just insinuate that she might...
You don't go and turn them upside down and check them.
No, I know, but you shouldn't discriminate like that.
More than 32 million Brits follow rituals such as picking the same lottery numbers. That isn't a ritual.
No.
That's ridiculous.
Just playing the odds.
According to research, and more than 11 million believe in lucky charms. Do you have a lucky charm?
No, I don't have anything. Maybe I need to start doing these things.
12 million
Pass me that salt. Just now stand behind me. No!
I've been blinded. 12 million Britons could claim luck of the Irish.
What, 12 million people are related to the Irish? Or are
that
Irish?
Could claim the luck of the Irish. The Irish are just lucky, they don't need any of this.
What do you mean you claim the luck of the Irish?
You just say, like, I'm lucky as an Irish.
It's like the power of Grayskull. You just claim it.
Anyway, do you want to know what the top 10 rituals
What does claim the luck of the Irish mean?
It's,
What does that mean?
a phrase that's used.
But then you have to be Irish to claim the luck.
No.
I can't just go, I want to win the lottery tonight. I'll tell you what, let's make sure you claim the luck of the Irish. Brilliant.
If you're lucky, you go, I've got the luck of the Irish. Who are lucky, or a well-known lucky race.
I think you have to be Irish to claim the luck of the Irish.
No, you don't. Anybody can bagsy it.
That is ridiculous.
Do you want the top 10 rituals?
All right, okay. Well, I'm slightly perplexed.
If there was an Irish person here, I'd grab him and say...
No, I've heard of like rubbing an Irishman for good luck, but I've never heard...
You what? Have you just made that up?
Yeah, of course I have.
Here are the top 10 superstitious rituals. Do you do these? Do you do them in service stations?
Rubbing an Irishman.
That isn't in the top 10. Do not rub an Irishman unless they're totally happy with it.
That's like a euphemism. And he was there rubbing an Irishman. Get off me.
In at number 10, avoid cracks in pavements. At number 9, the same routine before sport. At number 8, don't walk on odd number of drains. At number 7, don't cross path of a black cat. At number 6, don't cross on the stairs. I never cross on the stairs. When we worked together, did I ever cross on the stairs?
No, this is true. You drew the line at crossing the stairs. He used to wait there patiently up at the top.
So can you possibly come up, because some people used to hang off there a lot. You know,
yeah, I used to
hanging
like
on the
monkey.
stairs.
You were always patient though, because some people just barge through and say stay there and coming up. You always said, up you come in your own time.
At number 5, greet magpies, like your mum.
Yep.
And like me.
Are you calling my mum a magpie?
No, she greets magpies. At number 4, throw spilt salt over left's shoulder. That's been happening for a long time. I always do that. If you spill salt,
why? Surely it's right. Pass me a sachet of salt.
Right, if you spill salt, it's bad luck.
Okay.
I won't let you do it.
But then, say I spill salt here, right, and then gathering it up. It's really hard to gather up. It's stuck to you.
Yeah, it's only a little bit. You don't gather the whole lot. Just a little bit over your shoulder. That'll sort out the bad luck.
Very shit. And then you've got a salty shoulder for the rest of the day.
In at number 3, don't put new shoes on the table.
Yeah, I've heard of that. That used to annoy me, that one. I'll go and finish off the thing and then I'll...
At number 2, never walk under ladders. And at number 1, same lottery numbers. Same lottery numbers, I don't believe that's a superstition.
New shoes on the table used to annoy me because I remember, obviously you don't put dirty shoes on the table, and if I ever did it, my parents were like, you idiot, that's filthy, get out of there, take them off. And then like once or twice I'd have brand new shoes and I'd put them on the table and I'd go, but they're not dirty, they're clean. And they'd go, it's bad luck, get them off as well. And I was like, can a man not put his bloody shoes on the table and just live his life? Apparently they can't. Dirty or clean.
The Services Podcast with Watko and Tiny Rob.
Look, at the moment it's not looking good for the service station in terms of the spinning wheel review, but I'm going to ask you that question. What's it going to get out of 10 spinning wheels? The wheels that spin as you drive down the asphalt veins of this dear country. The asphalt veins? The asphalt veins of this country.
What's the question?
I don't know. I just kept saying asphalt veins of this country. How many spinning wheels would you give it?
Yeah, this is going to be brutal. See, again, this is potentially controversial because obviously we've always thought, we've got by kind of on a wing and a prayer with whether we're legally allowed to be here, whether they're happy to have us. And so far we concluded that at no point are we snagging off the stations. Of course they are, it's good business, we're saying come here, it's great. However, we didn't reckon with Tibshelf, and now we give it a bad review, what happens?
But remember that this review is just our impression here on the night.
Yeah, nobody else's.
Just ours, and I would still come and check it out anyway. I mean, why would you go on 2 blokes who spend most of their life in service stations, sad individuals? Why would you go on what they say when you could go on what other people say about service stations? Word of mouth.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 3 out of 10.
Oh my goodness, that's ridiculous. Why 3? That's very harsh.
It's soulless. It's horrible. I don't mind that it's small. Sure, it can be small but perfectly formed. It isn't. The decal's horrendous. It looks like B&Q, like the decking they do. There were 2 food options, one of them was closed. The other hot food area was abandoned. I had to go and ask someone to come and serve me. And then they did, and the coleslaw was really thick. It was like someone had cut it with like a hacksaw rather than just a standard knife.
It meant that you got more coleslaw though.
Sorry?
It meant that you got more of it.
Yeah, but I didn't want to eat it because it was horrible. It was basically like someone had just dipped a cabbage in mayonnaise and then just put it on my plate.
All right. Well, I enjoyed my hot chocolate, which incidentally cost me over £3, but it was a large one.
It was a large one.
So you're giving it 3.
I'm giving it 3 out
Any
of 3
more?
spinning
You want
wheels.
to give the character assassination, service area assassination?
Just no one's here. It doesn't speak. It doesn't. It just doesn't speak badly for it, doesn't it?
If you were on the M1 going northbound, would you wait to stop off at Woodall?
Yes, I would.
You would, wouldn't you?
Even if I hadn't been to Woodall before, just as I mentioned last week, 'cause it sounds like Jane Goodall, so there might be an outside chance of monkeys there. No chance of monkeys at Tibshelf.
Yeah, not even a sniff of Ollie Murs.
No Ollie Murs either. We're not saying Ollie Murs is a monkey.
Now, having said that, Ollie Murs is well known for spending time at welcome breaks.
Well, exactly.
He's a welcome break man.
I can see why he avoids the road chef.
He wears a welcome break pin.
Does he? Where?
In his lapel.
Right. Is he paid? Is that sponsorship or?
If
is
he,
it out
if
of
he
choice?
likes it, I could wear whatever pin I want. I've got a 20.
Yeah, but you're
12
not
pin.
you're not an international record-selling megastar, are you? I don't want to say you're not as good as Ollie Murs, 'cause I think you're wonderful, but you're not as good as Ollie Murs.
Are you interested to know what my review is?
Not really, no. No, go on.
I'm going to tell you anyway.
Go on.
I'm giving it 6.
Whoa, what?
6 spinning wheels.
I think that's 3 normal spinning wheels and 3 sympathy spinning wheels.
6, which then takes it up to overall review.
Ooh,
4.5.
So what, the average?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4.5.
4.5 is the average. The reason why I've given it 6 is that, how can you go on first impressions? Don't judge a book by its cover.
Well, why are we doing this at all then? If everything's by first impressions, isn't it? And to be honest, I think we probably got better impression. We sat here for nearly 2 hours. That's a pretty good impression of a service station. And they've left a bloody fire escape door open. I'm freezing.
Yeah, but you can get out if there's a fire.
Yeah, I'll be starting a fire in a minute. Burn this godforsaken place down.
Harsh words there. So we'll leave this podcast by saying, hey, some people will like it, some people won't. I think it's okay. I've got to give it a half decent review because it's the nearest. I know what you're going to do.
No,
because it's the nearest service station to me. That's where we're at.
I'm going to give it this. And then one of these for good measure.
And that's that. That is that.
Contact the Services Podcast now by emailing theservicespodcast@gmail.com, adding us on Twitter @theservicespod, or by leaving us a message on our roadside answering machine on this number 0755 3521 558.
As an epilogue to this podcast, Ian Lee left us a message last week. It was very mournful, saying that we'd stolen all of his ideas. Now, Ian Lee does a podcast with me called The Important Target, and he says
it's the second best podcast you do, actually, isn't it?
It's the most popular podcast that I do, I'll be honest.
Well, is popularity everything? No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Anyways,
Nick Drake didn't sell a single record when he was alive. Obviously,
people will be downloading this when both of us are hanging from the nearest tree. Brilliant. Should we do that tonight then? Because let's get them up. Having said that, we wouldn't have edited this, so this one wouldn't ever see the light of day.
No, it wouldn't.
Maybe somebody would come across the SD card and go, "What on earth's on here?" And then think, "Oh, load of absolute."
Yeah, I can see why they did it.
Also, somebody got in touch with us on the roadside answering machine, and left us a message thinking this was the Ian Lee Watko podcast.
It's a bit embarrassing, isn't it?
The Important Target. Telling us all about some fella, long and sort of rambling message about which Dick Van Dyke movie the old bamboo dance routine was from.
Is that the sort of tripe you two talk about on your other podcasts, your other less impressive podcasts?
I liked the answer phone message. It was very good. Which one was it in?
I can't remember. They all blur into one.
Well, apparently this man's girlfriend... I'll tell you what. Here it is.
Oh, God.
Hello there, Watko and Ian. It's Chris from Reading. I'm not actually in Reading at the moment. I'm in Lyme Regis. You may hear the sound of the sea. I thought I'd call. I've just been knocked sideways by some information I've received from my girlfriend. That she thought that the Dick Van Dyke scene involving the old bamboo was in Mary Poppins, when in fact it is in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I had to spend a good 20 minutes describing the start of the film, the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I mean, obviously that scene could have been in Mary Poppins, because he does, in fact, have a piece of bamboo with some chalk on the end in Mary Poppins. But obviously the start of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang involves some old footage of cars, and then it opens with small children on the main car of the footage, which was to become Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. The owner of the scrapyard, Mr. Goggins, I can't quite remember, but he actually says he's going to sell the car. So the children run home and say to their father that they want this car. They don't want Mr. Goggins to sell it, or Coggins. So the father, he Clackatus Potts, Dick Van Dyke, he feels bad about this, so he goes to the fair with one of his inventions, one of his crackpot inventions, which is a hair trimming machine, automatic. He tries it out on a large fellow, and it ruins his hair. It cuts it around the sides and leaves an island on the top. So he runs away from this large man. He runs through the freak show and ends up on stage with some other fellas who've got bamboo sticks. They look a bit like Morris dancers. So he ends up dancing with them. He doesn't quite know the routine, but he picks it up in the end. And then at the end of the dance, they throw money at him, which he uses to purchase the old car. And then the next scene, you see him driving it in the morning up to the children with their smiling faces and happy shouts of joy. I'd had to tell this to my girlfriend. She has bowed down to my superior information. And as Fagin said in Oliver, I will be reviewing the situation. Thank you very much. Bye.
Now we know. Simple as that. It was obviously from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah.
Because of what that guy's just said. Anyway, more from the services in a couple of weeks' time. We don't know where we're going to be. Maybe Donington, maybe further afield. But what we can tell you is...
it won't be Dusseldorf.
Oh, the old man blue, the old man blue. You better never bother the old man blue. You can have the hat on the gun for the shoe, but you better never bother the old man blue.